Hello, everybody. My name is Melvise from Written Words Publishing. I am an editor and a ghostwriter and a publisher, and I'm also an author. And I come on live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. reading and revising my novel live here with everyone. So we are up to chapter 9. Now I'm going to tell you that I can see that chapter 9 needs a lot of work. Ooh. Okay, let's just dig right into here. First off, I see an extreme amount of exclamation points here. All of those have to go. I see Earl, Naomi, Naomi, Earl, Naomi, Naomi, Earl, Earl, Naomi, Naomi, Earl, Earl, Naomi, Naomi, Earl, Naomi, Earl, 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 Naomi. Way too much overuse of the characters' names on these first couple of pages. And I also see a few places where I need to add the five senses, where I need to show what is going on as opposed to telling what is going on. And the first instance is right here on the first paragraph of this chapter. Here we go with chapter 9. Chapter 9, Here Comes the Boss, June 2005. It was Friday, a good day, or so Naomi thought, until Earl arrived at 9 a.m. She could tell he was in a grouchy mood as soon as he stepped off of the elevator. I'm taking of out there. So, like I mentioned right here in this first paragraph on this chapter, it's an instance here where I need to revise to show and not tell. So, if you know Earl, you've been joining me twice a week now for the past few weeks. I'm up to chapter 9. You know that Earl is an attorney with a higher than thou attitude. Every time somebody hears his voice or sees him coming, they cringe because they know it's going to be something crazy they're going to have to dealing with this man. So, Naomi is the receptionist, right? She saw him step off the elevator and she could tell he was in a grouchy mood. How? How could she tell that he was in a grouchy mood? It had to be something about his appearance, the look on his face. Yeah, I would say it would have had to be the look on his face, right? So, what does a grouchy face look like? Okay. I'm just going to make note here that I need to revise that to show what a grouchy mood looks like. And it would have to be the look on his face. I'm just making that note there because I can't think about it right now. So I'm going to come back to it because I'm in the process of perfecting this book. I'm going to fix it and it's going to be perfect when I'm done, and everybody going to run and buy it and make me a New York Times best-selling author. That's the goal. That's the plan. And I'm sticking to it. Okay, so it was Friday, a good day, or so Naomi thought, until Earl arrived at 9 a.m. She could tell he was in a grouchy mood as soon as he stepped off the elevator. He started ranting and raving about losing a case. At first, she thought he was speaking to her until she realized he was talking to someone on his cell phone. Okay, so here is an instance where there is a overuse of words right here. We don't need um, talking to someone, because she mentioned that he was speaking, so we know he's talking. So we're going to say, at first, she thought he was speaking to her until she realized he was on his cell phone. If you're on your cell phone and you're speaking, you're already talking to someone, right? So we don't need those three words there. Take that out. Look, T, if you're guilty, you're guilty. There's not much I can do. Earl looked directly into Naomi's eyes as he spoke. I want to change that to Naomi. Earl looked directly into Naomi's eyes while speaking. Now, the next sentence says Naomi could tell the client was peeved. She could hear him yelling loud and clear. Oh my goodness. Like every single paragraph in this chapter right here needs work. This is crazy. It's all good though. It's all good. So I don't want to use Naomi again here, and this could actually be condensed into one sentence, and then on top of that, yell. So I mentioned in a previous video, you want to avoid using the same word multiple times in the same sentence, or the same paragraph, or the same page if you can avoid it. And I see yelled here a few times. So let's fix that. So Naomi could tell the client was peeved. She could hear him yelling loud and clear. You know what? Let me tell you something. Number one, I'm sorry, I just got to pause right here to chastise myself for a second. Number one, you should always follow your mind, okay? I'm going to tell you that I'm old enough and been through enough to know, follow your mind. If you thought about it, you think you should do it, just follow your mind, okay? That way later on, you don't got to say, dang, I should follow my mind. That's number one. Number two, follow your own advice, okay? This has already happened to me before in a previous chapter, okay? Where I was sitting here reading the book and it was a sentence and it was jacked up and I fixed it out loud, but I didn't write it down. And then by the time I went to go write it down, like 5 minutes later, it was gone. I couldn't even remember what I had came up with, right? Right? I was supposed to write it down. Okay, so now earlier I looked to see. I said, okay, let me see what chapter are we up to. What chapter am I reading tonight? I opened it up and I was reading the first couple of pages and I saw these two sentences right here. And I said, this is wrong. These two sentences can be combined into one, and yelling needs to come out. And I know that I rewrote that sentence in my head a few hours ago, right? Why didn't I write it down? I could have wrote it down at that time. I thought to myself, you know what? Okay, that I could rewrite that sentence tonight. Why? I've been here, done this plenty of times before. Okay, this book was written years ago. I got another book that's coming out right after this one. And I got two more manuscripts that's 99% done. I'm a ghostwriter. I'm a ghost ghost written at least 12 books by now. I'll have to really do a count to get an accurate number, but that's like a ballpark figure, right? So I already know that the first time I think about it, I'm supposed to write it down. So why didn't I write it down? Now I gotta sit here and waste my brain power to rethink the same thing that I already thought before all over again. Man. I'm sorry, I just had to get that off my chest. One day I'll learn my lesson. One day I will follow my own advice. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do right now? I'm just gonna highlight these two sentences and I'll think about how to fix it later so we could keep moving. Keep moving. All right. So look, T, if you're guilty, you're guilty. There's not much I can do. He looked directly into Naomi's eyes while speaking. She could tell the client was peeved. Says Naomi could tell the client was peeved. She could hear him yelling loud and clear. And that is the two sentences that I need to fix. Can't do it right now. I've paid you $250,000 and I don't see where or how you have done anything to help me, yelled T. Now, after me, there's an exclamation point. That exclamation point has to come out in case you did not see in my previous video where I mentioned it. There should not be, if you're doing a work of fiction, there should not be more than 3 exclamation points throughout your whole entire manuscript, okay? And if you wrote yelled, you don't need an exclamation point because you told the reader that they were yelling. Take the exclamation point out. And I need to reverse it. And it needs to say TL, not yell T. Okay. Earl raised his voice. Well, I'm sorry for you. Behave yourself in the joint and don't call me anymore. There go another exclamation point. I'm going to take that down. We don't need that exclamation point because we don't already stated that Earl raised his voice. He slammed his cell phone down on the reception desk. Call the phone company and have T's number blocked. And don't ever accept any collect calls or packages from him. Gosh, I'm reading that wrong. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me read it right. Call the phone company and have T's number blocked, and don't ever accept any collect calls or packages from him. Proof each document I emailed to you this morning, and when you finish that, call Kim down here to watch the phones while you vacuum the carpet and wipe all of the windows. I want this place spotless. So I'm taking that out. Y'all remember I mentioned previous videos, unnecessary words, that, even, really, there's some more, but anyway, gone. Some words you don't need. Okay, so proof each document I emailed to you this morning, and when you finish, call Kim down here to watch the phones while you vacuum the carpet and wipe all the windows. I'm taking of out. I want this place spotless. Naomi sat there filing her nails, completely ignoring him. Are you listening to me? Look at me when I speak to you, Earl barked. Says Naomi raised her eyes to peer at Earl without lifting her head. Too much Naomi and Earl going on here. Okay, so... She raised her eyes to peer at Earl without lifting her head. I'm going across the street to meet a new client. When I return, I expect everything to be done, and it better be done right. Understand? Whatever. Naomi sucked her teeth and rolled her eyes. Earl sucked his teeth and rolled his eyes back at her, then got on the elevator. 5 minutes later, the elevator bell rang. She looked up to see Earl step off the elevator. Oh my goodness. Ooh, ooh. Elevator, elevator, elevator. Ooh. Okay. That whole paragraph is gonna have to get rewritten too. That's crazy. Earl sucked his teeth and rolled his eyes back at her, then got on the elevator. 5 minutes later, the elevator bell rang. She looked up to see Earl step off the elevator and storm toward her desk. He looked down at Naomi. Yeah, gosh, I gotta rewrite that whole paragraph and get rid of all those elevators. Are you finished? He asked. She ignored him. Says Naomi ignored him, but I'm gonna change it to she. Actually, I am going to instead of saying she ignored him, that's another place where we can show what she was doing. We can say she continued filing her nails. You know, yeah, she was filing her nails. But she kept filing her nails. She kept filing her nails. Okay. And then he raised his voice. Are you finished? And it says Naomi continued to ignore him. So that's got to be something else. Let's see. She didn't. Let's see. Okay. I'll have to fix that too. Earl came around the desk and grabbed Naomi by her collar. You answer me when I speak to you. Now I ask you a question. This is the last time I'm going to repeat myself. Are you finished? 1, 2, 3 exclamation points right there. They all got to go. Okay, it says, are you finished? He hollered. Okay, why are there 3 exclamation points here when it says he hollered? Okay. Naomi stood up, and her 3-inch stilettos enabled her to look him directly in the eyes. Take your hands off of me. She poked Earl in his chest with her index finger, forcing him to take a step back. I don't know what makes you think I'm some dumb bee that you can mess with today, but I'm telling you now, I am not the one. You knew the moment you first laid eyes on me that I know how to play this game, and I'm here to win. Win what? Earl demanded to know. Win your pride. You can't. Why not? Because I don't have any. The elevator bell rang. Naomi looked over to see Butter stepping off the elevator with a 9mm in his right hand. We could just say Naomi looked over to see Butter stepping off. We could take out of the elevator. I don't know. I gotta fix that too. Everything went black. Ooh. She woke up. It says Naomi. I'm gonna change that to she. She woke up in a cold sweat and panicked to catch her breath. Thank God it was just a dream. She glanced at the clock. 8 o'clock. Oh, I'm late. She jumped out of bed, quickly dug a t-shirt and pair of jeans out of her bag, threw her hair into a ponytail, and rushed to work. She opened the office door 30 minutes late and froze when she saw Earl sitting behind the front desk. He walked up to her, looked her directly in the eyes, and said, I know that I pulled you in here off of the street. I also know that you are not stupid. I will throw you out of here quicker than I reeled you in. I advise you not to let this happen again. My new client will be here in 15 minutes. Make sure that our breakfast arrives before he does. Make sure the conference room is set up properly, and most of all, make sure nothing goes wrong. There's some that's in this paragraph that I'm gonna take out. It says when Earl walked off without giving Naomi a chance to explain, she gave a sigh of relief. Compared to her dream, this encounter with him was a walk in the park. Says this encounter with Earl. I'm going to change that to with him. Yes. So Earl walked off without giving Naomi a chance to explain. When Earl walked off without giving Naomi a chance to explain, she gave a sigh of relief. Compared to her dream, this encounter with him was a walk in the park. The afternoon arrived quickly, and along with it came cramps and bloating. Naomi was in desperate. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not apologizing, but this is women's fiction. Okay. That is the category of this book. So it's women stuff going on here. Okay. This is the life of these women. Okay. Just a side note. Anyway, she got cramps and she bloating, and she was in desperate need of changing her pad. All the females out there know exactly what that feel like, okay? Okay. Kim was out to lunch, and Earl would not let Kat relieve her because he wanted to make a point. She picked up the phone and called Trisha. Girl, could you please relieve me? Are you all right? You sound upset. Trisha was concerned. Okay. I just want to make note here because I got relieve here twice, and I'm pretty sure there's another word I could use for relieve in one of them instances. Girl, could you please cover me? Yeah. Could you please cover for me? Could you please cover for me? There you go. Girl, could you please cover for me? There you go. Are you all right? You sound upset, Trisha was concerned. I feel like, my friend came today and Earl is being his usual wonderful self. Naomi said with sarcasm. I'm on my way, responded Trisha. When she arrived at the front desk, Naomi had already begun walking toward the ladies' room. Oh, gosh. Darlene and Trisha were talking when Naomi returned 10 minutes later. Okay, let's see. Let's make that. Okay. I thought you fell in, Darlene jokingly said. Thanks for the break. Girl, your hair looks nice, Naomi complimented Trisha on her new do and ignored Darlene's comment. Thanks. My old friend Renee told me about Della's beauty shop. I'm surprised, said Darlene. What are you surprised about? Asked Trisha. That Renee goes to a professional to get her hair done. Doesn't she wear her hair natural? She doesn't even have a perm in her hair, responded Darlene. Okay, I'm sorry. So I gotta switch around, said Darlene. So Darlene said, Trisha asked. Darlene responded. I'm mindful of that. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. There's nothing wrong with keeping it natural. Naomi voiced her opinion. Damn, Darlene. Okay. So I'm surprised. What are you surprised about? Trisha asked. That Renee goes to a professional to get her hair done. Doesn't she wear her hair natural? She doesn't even have a perm in her hair, Darlene responded. There's nothing wrong with keeping it natural, Naomi voiced her opinion. Damn, Darlene. I don't know what made you decide to get a weave in the summertime. You knew all of that horsehair was going to make you hot. Darlene teased Trisha. Nobody asked you, Trisha said. I ain't never had a weave, so I don't know if horsehair really do make you hot. But I can tell you, all these natural locks is hot up in the summertime. I'll be having to put my hair up because my neck be sweating back here like crazy. This is all natural right here, y'all. Anyway, I imagine if a whole bunch of natural hair make you hot, the weave make you hot too. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. Since when does someone have to ask Darlene to open her mouth? Naomi Hayes, tossing back her head to take some Motrin. I know you have PMS, so I'll ignore. I know you have PMS, so I'll ignore that remark. Said Darlene, but I don't even think that we need that there because why? I would say it even if I wasn't bleeding like a pig, Naomi grinned. The elevator bell rang. It says the elevator bell rang and a very handsome, very, that's the word, I believe, when I was listening to them off. That very, really, what's the other one? I'm still missing one. Anyway, very, we don't need very, that's coming out. So the elevator bell rang and a handsome brown skinned brother walked into the reception area, putting an end to their tiff. Darlene stepped in his path. Hi, I'm Darlene. How can I help you? I have a package for Mr. Jones. You don't have anything for me? Darlene asked. Check it again. Darlene Reese. Naomi intervened. You can take that package to the service center down the hall, second door on your right. Darlene rubbed his arm. Would you like me to show you? I'm sure I can find it. Thanks anyway. As he walked off, Darlene was Googling the man so hard she could have set his uniform on fire. As soon as he was out of sight, the girls jumped into full eye candy mode. That sure is one fine piece of meat, remarked Darlene. I think he likes you. Why don't you jump on that? Asked Naomi. Yeah, you should. No, wait a minute. You can't. You're married, Trisha said and laughed. It doesn't matter whether I'm married or not. Ain't nothing wrong with looking. Just because he's fine doesn't mean I'm interested. Who do you think you're fooling? Everyone knows your marriage doesn't mean shh to you, said Trisha. Says who? Asked Darlene. Dang it. Hold on a second. Okay. So the name is supposed to come first. It's supposed to say Naomi asked. Trisha said. Darlene asked. Trisha stressed. That's alright. That's what I'm doing, y'all. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. I'm fixing it. Turning it into a New York Times bestseller. If you're enjoying it, like the video. Follow me. I'm here live every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Ooh, okay. See these girls. Ooh, gosh. Ooh, my eyes just hit this paragraph right here. I don't even think I can read this out loud. Y'all gotta remember. Okay, these are just some chicks. They at work. A group of chicks get together. They start talking crap. Some nice fine piece of eye candy just crossed their path, and now they gotta talk about it. Okay, that's what's going on here. I might have to skip some of these words though because let's see, where was I? Okay, so who do you think you're fooling? Everyone knows your marriage doesn't mean to you, said Trisha. Says who? Okay, so Trisha says who, Darlene asked. Says you, Naomi responded. All the time, Trisha stressed. Ha ha, Darlene babbled. Give me some credit. Just because I look doesn't mean I touch. Now, if you go back and you watch the video where I I made over the book blurb, you can hear me talk about Darlene's character. I think is in that chapter and the chapter when they were in the ER. We know that Darlene, first of all, she's the office gossip queen. Okay, all up in everybody's business. Just all up in everybody's business. That's number one. Number two, she's married, but if you listen to chapter 8, you'll find out that she is not faithful to her husband. Okay. So she's a gossip queen. She's unfaithful. And she's obviously a liar because they're sitting right here telling her, we know that you are not faithful to your husband. And she's like, what are you talking about? Y'all bugging. Anyway. So who do you think you're fooling? Everyone knows your marriage doesn't mean to you, Trisha said. Says who? Darlene asked. Says you, Naomi responded. All the time, Trisha stressed. Ha ha, Darlene babbled. Give me some credit. Just because I look doesn't mean I touch. Please, we all know you're a cat in heat, especially since Marcus doesn't satisfy you anymore, Naomi said with a poker face. Yeah, and that dude's going to be working. All right, y'all. I'm just going to have to do this like I did chapter 8 when I was reading the intimate scene. And just blurt it out because it is what it is, okay? It shouldn't be no minors on here, so I believe I clicked this is not for under 18, okay? So whew. All right, y'all ready? I'm gonna have to look at the terms to find out what are the terms like. Okay, I'm not gonna say the F word. But can I say the D word? Okay, I'm just gonna blurt it out, but I'm not gonna say those words. Okay. Okay, here we go right here. Okay, they like I said, they just seen this fine brother walk by and they talking about him, okay? They talking crap to each other, okay? Here we go. So, please, we all know you're a cat in heat, especially since Marcus doesn't satisfy you anymore, Naomi said with a poker face. Yeah, and that dude's got to be working with at least 8 inches, Trisha observed. How do you know? Have you effed him? Darlene asked. No, I've never seen him before. All you have to do is look at his feet. He has to be a size 13 or more. There's no such thing as dissatisfaction when you're working with a nice, hard, black 8-inch D, Trisha said. That's the God's honest truth. You can handle 8 inches, can't you? Naomi asked Darlene. The delivery guy returned to the front desk, where Darlene stopped him in his tracks. You're cute. Are you married? She inquired. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Why do you want to know? Just curious, she smiled. I don't think I've ever seen you around here before. Do you live in Morgantown? Why don't you leave him alone? I'm sure he has other deliveries to make this afternoon, Trisha told Darlene. Mind your business, she snapped at Trisha and stepped closer to the guy. Well, if you're not married, do you have a girlfriend? Kids? She pried. Possibly, he answered. I love to stay here and play 20 questions with you, but I do have more deliveries to make. Well, can you at least tell me your name? James. Okay, James, I'll let you go. Hopefully, we'll see each other again soon. Maybe, who knows? He turned toward Naomi and Trisha. Enjoy the rest of your days, ladies. Enjoy the rest of your day, ladies. When Trisha returned to her desk, she joked with Kat about what had transpired at the front desk. Okay. Their loud laughter caused Earl to charge out of his office. I do not pay the two of you to sit out here and tell jokes all day. I pay you to work. And if you don't have enough work to do, I'll be more than happy to create some for you. Or perhaps I'll do you one better. I'll get rid of you, Trisha. Then Kat will have plenty. Kat turned around and immediately started typing. You need to take some classes on how to conduct yourself when dealing with employees, Trisha snapped at Earl. I'm just going to say Trisha snapped. We don't need to say at Earl. We know she's talking to Earl. How dare you advise me how to conduct myself? I'll have you know I have been dealing with employees ever since you were in preschool. You are completely out of line. If it weren't for Larenz, you would not be a member of my staff. I would have you fired. I would have fired you a long time ago. You should be grateful that JK has a great secretary like me. And you need to thank Larenz, because if it weren't for him, I would have left this place the moment I realized I was going to be around your grumpy behind every day. Trisha don't care. Now Kat is all submissive, and she's just do whatever he say, and just take all the take all the verbal abuse and the mistreatment. She's just his secretary. She's just dealing with it. But Trisha is like, look, I don't like you, and you know I don't like you, and this is why I don't like you. Okay. Drawn from his office by the commotion, Preston approached them. What's going on out here? I can hear you all the way down the hall. I'll tell you what's going on. Sir Knight here is trying to fire one of your best employees, Trisha responded. No. The problem is this woman is one of the rudest employees we've ever had, and she needs to be fired. Kiss my behind, Trisha told Earl and walked away from her desk. Earl, this is ridiculous. I'm sure you could have found a better way to handle this situation, whatever it is. You need to stop aggravating our staff. We have good people working here. You're liable to make them all walk out on us just like Mary did. Earl walked into his office. Look, Preston, I don't need any lectures from you. I have work to do. He closed the door in Preston's face. Kat remained silent and face forward the entire time. You see what I'm talking about? Trisha over there going off. Earl like, look, I don't even like that chick. She rude. Worst employee we ever had. You need to fire her. Trisha's like, man, if I'd have known I was going to have to see you and be around you every day, I wouldn't even took this job. They going back and forth. Don't pull the other partner out of his office. He coming down like, what is going on over here? And the whole time, Kat's just sitting there. She ain't saying nothing. It's just silent. Okay. At 4:45, Earl sent an email to all of the support staff. It read, effective Monday, the following amendments to the JEK Code of Conduct will be in effect. 1. You are no longer permitted to make up missed time in the same week. You will make up your time the same day, or you will have to use your personal time. If you do not have any personal time on the books, you will be docked. 2. All secretaries must take their lunch hour between noon and 2 o'clock. No exceptions. 3. You must inform the receptionist whenever you leave the office, be it your lunch hour, cigarette break, ER break, an appointment, the end of the day, or any other circumstance that requires you to be away from your desk for 5 minutes or more. I'm gonna change that. You must inform the receptionist whenever you leave your desk, not the office. Whenever you leave your desk. Let's see. You are no longer allowed to play games on the internet and or handle personal business on company time. You are to adhere to the new dress code. No skirts higher than 1 inch above the knee and no low-cut blouses. Okay, so that was number 4 and number 5. Number 6, no more than 3 employees may visit the ER at the same time, and each individual may only remain in the ER for 15 minutes or less. Alcoholic beverages will be removed. So if you're wondering what the ER is, you'll have to watch the video for the definition of appreciation. I believe that's chapter 5. Yes, the definition of appreciation, chapter 5, and chapter 6, escape and relax, and you'll find out what the ER is. Negative responses to Earl's email flooded the office like a tidal wave. Trisha and Darlene convinced the secretaries and word processors to retaliate by not going to work on Monday. Kat was hesitant, and Kim was completely disinclined. I can't do that, said Kim. Preston would not be able to make it throughout the day without assistance. That's the point. We need to show Sir Knight that JK cannot function without us, Trisha said. Ooh. Wow. Okay. What about Naomi? Kat questioned. Forget Naomi. She's just a receptionist, Darlene said. These idiots will be just fine without a pretty face and a nice voice at the front desk. They can't make it without us. She's right. Earl might fire her out of spite, Trisha predicted. There's no need to get Naomi involved. She hasn't been here long. She can inform us about what happened that day. That's true, Kat agreed. That settles it. On Monday, as far as JK is concerned, we do not exist, Trisha declared. The following Monday morning, around 9:30, when Earl realized the office was empty, he approached the reception desk, demanding to know what was going on. Where's everyone? I don't see anyone around here except associates and the guys in the service center. Where the hell is all of the secretaries and word processors? It says Earl demanded to know. I'm going to say he demanded to know. I have no idea. No one came in. It says Naomi replied, but yeah, okay. say Naomi replied. What do you mean no one came in? Why not? Did anybody call? Says everyone called in sick. I honestly have no idea what's going on, she professed. This document needs to be out the door ASAP. Here, he said, tossing some papers at Naomi. Do these edits and have Sammy bring it to me when you're finished. I can't do that. Why not? I don't know a word and I can't type too well. Find a temp now. Turning to leave, he bumped into Larenz and Preston, who were just as confused as he was. Do you have any idea what is going on around here? Preston asked Earl and Naomi. That's what I've been trying to find out, said Earl. No one came to work today, and our receptionist here doesn't seem capable of performing her duties. He addressed Naomi. If I'm not mistaken, the amendment to the Code of Conduct requires you to keep track of everyone's whereabouts during business hours. I want you to get on the phone, call each and every secretary, and find out what the hell is going on right now. Wait a minute, Larenz interrupted. What amendment to the Code of Conduct? I revised it on Friday, Earl answered. You did what? Preston's voice went up a notch. Why? I don't recall discussing revising the Code of Conduct at our last meeting. Neither do I, said Larenz, glaring scornfully at Earl. I've been contemplating it for a while. Some of the recent behavior around here forced me to do it, especially after getting into it with your secretary on Friday. I'm telling you, Larenz, that woman is totally unprofessional. She reflects a negative image of JK and she should not be employed here. Wait. Back up a second. What do you mean you were forced to impose new rules around here? Since when do we make changes like that in this office without consulting each other? Asked Preston with the tone of a cross-examiner. I planned on discussing it with the two of you this morning before I distributed a revised version of the code. But I can't discuss this with you right now. I have to get this petition out of the door, and there's no one here capable of typing these edits. Earl faced Naomi. Do what you can and get me some help in here now, he ordered and stormed off. Larenz fussed. I don't believe him. Maybe this will help. Naomi passed Larenz a copy of Earl's email. Larenz glanced over it, then passed it to Preston. Do you see this shit? This man is insane. Preston read it. I think that's evident after all the secretaries he ran off that desk. But this... Preston crumbled the paper. He ran off the entire staff. Larenz and Preston called everyone to apologize, asking them to come to work. Preston sent an email to the staff, CCing Larenz and Earl, instructing them to disregard the email they had received from Earl on Friday. The Code of Conduct has not been amended. All things are to remain the same at JK. No one will be docked for late arrival if they showed up. And that, y'all, is the end of chapter 9. Here comes the boss. Okay. That's a nice example of their office environment. Earl overstepping. I know he didn't think that Preston. I mean, when you watch the video for definition of appreciation, and you see what Earl and Larenz did to show their appreciation for their staff, ain't no way in the world they was gonna let Earl get away with some crap like this. It's like, this dude is bugging. Then you might wonder, why do Larenz and Preston put up with Earl? The money. The money. You ain't hear Earl. You ain't hear dude say, I just paid you $250 and you ain't even get me off. I'm still going to jail. Like, what I pay you all that money for? Don't matter whether they win or lose, you still got to pay the lawyer. So, anyway, y'all, that is it for the night. I hope that you all enjoyed that chapter. I hope that you all are enjoying this ride with me on my journey to become a New York Times bestselling author. And I thank you for watching. And I will catch you for the next chapter. Adios.